You ever notice how some stories just kind of stay with you? Like The Little Prince. It's supposed to be for kids, but even now,
Oh, totally.
it makes you think there's got to be something deeper there, right?
Absolutely. And that's what's so cool about this article we're diving into. It takes those characters, the prince, the fox, even the pilot, and imagines them as adults.
So we're not just getting all nostalgic. We're like having this grain-up conversation with them.
Exactly. It's about love, self-discovery, loneliness, things we still deal with even when we're not little anymore.
And the way it's written is really interesting, too. They use these imaginary dialogues, so it feels really relatable.
It's like eavesdropping on these incredibly insightful conversations, right?
Yes. It's so much better than just reading some quote about love on a coffee mug. Like, how do I actually apply that to my life? This article gets into that.
I know, right? Like, one thing that stood out to me is when the prince realizes his rose wasn't special just because she was a rose.
It was because of him.
Yeah, it was the bond they built, the care he put into their relationship.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of this one time I was trying to keep this basil plant alive, right? And I am talking classical music, the perfect window.
You were dedicated?
And it hit me. Maybe we get so caught up in finding the perfect partner, the perfect job,
That
whatever.
we forget to nurture what we already have.
Exactly. Like the fox says, love grows through patience, understanding, and sometimes sacrifice. And speaking of the fox, that whole taming thing,
Yeah, that word always throws me off a little bit.
at first it sounds a little weird, right? I'm
Right.
not trying to put a collar on anybody.
No, no, not at all. It's more about that mutual transformation that happens in a deep relationship. You change each other just by being in each other's lives.
It's like that quote from the book, how the fox says the prince's rose is unique in all the world because of their bond.
It's such a beautiful way to put it. And it makes you think about your own relationships, right? What makes them special?
Totally. And that kind of leads into this whole idea of seeing beyond the surface, which the article gets into in a really cool way.
It does. It takes that famous line from the book, what is essential is invisible to the eye,
Yeah.
and actually gives us concrete ways to actually do that.
But how do you even start? In a world that's like go, go, go all the time, how do you actually slow down enough to see what really
Right.
matters?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. It's about fighting that urge to judge everything and everyone so quickly. Like, we're so used to swiping left or right, we forget to look a little deeper.
Oh, 100%. It's
Yeah.
like we're all about first impressions. But then the article goes on to this whole other thing about self-discovery, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just the prince's journey in the original book, right? Like, he's older now, so he's facing different kinds of challenges.
Right. And he meets all these new characters, which I have to say, some of them are kind of a bummer.
Oh, tell me about it. There's this one guy completely obsessed with himself, like, can't stop looking in the mirror.
It's like he's missing the point entirely.
Totally. And it makes you wonder, what are we missing, right? Like, what are our own blind spots that keep us from really connecting with ourselves and other people?
Because it's so easy to get caught up in the rat race. Got to get the promotion, got to buy the thing.
But is that really what it's all about? This article made me think about that a lot. Like, maybe real self-discovery isn't about achieving something on the outside.
It's about remembering who you are on the inside.
Exactly. There's this line in the article, it's like, sometimes self-discovery isn't about finding something new, but about remembering something you've forgotten.
Oh, wow. That's really good.
Yeah.
What were you passionate about as a kid, like before life got in the way?
Oh, man, so many things. Playing in the dirt, making up stories. What about you?
I used to love to draw. I haven't done that in forever. It's like somewhere along the line, we decided that stuff was childish.
And we should be more serious.
Yeah, but this article is arguing that maybe there's some real wisdom in that childlike perspective.
Totally. Like, kids just get it, right? They know that relationships are more important than stuff.
Yes, and experiences over things. Why do we forget that as we get older?
It's like that part in the article where they compare grown-ups to that king from the book, remember?
The one who just wanted to boss everyone around.
Yeah, he was so busy being in charge, he forgot why he wanted the power in the first place.
Oh man, I know that feeling. Sometimes I get so caught up in my to-do list, I forget to actually enjoy life.
And the article talks about that too, about how fear can keep us from being open to new experiences and really connecting with people.
It's like we build up these walls to protect ourselves, but then we end up trapping ourselves inside.
It's true. Remember how exciting everything felt as a kid? When did we lose that sense of wonder?
It's like we trade in that wonder for like a 401k and a mortgage payment.
Seriously. But you know what really struck me? The article actually talks about loneliness, which You wouldn't think that'd be a thing in, like, 2024, right?
I'm more connected than ever, but...
But are we really connected? That's what the article makes you ask.
So what's the answer? Because I see that in my own life even.
Well, it's not about just, like, adding more friends on social media, you know? It goes back to that taming idea.
Oh, okay, so it's about going deeper with the people you actually care about.
Exactly. It's about putting in the effort to really understand each other, to be there for each other, even when it's hard. Remember what the fox said. That kind of connection, that's what makes us less alone, even when we are physically alone sometimes.
It's like knowing someone's got your back, no matter what.
And they get you, you know, all the messy bits. I think we forget how important that is.
We really do. It's kind of wild. We started this whole thing talking about The Little Prince, which, let's be honest, I thought I'd outgrown.
Yeah.
But this conversation...
It hits different as an adult.
Totally. It's making me rethink some stuff, like how can I be a better friend, partner, and how do I get back to that place of just being open and curious, like when I was a kid?
Those are great questions. And I love that even though the article gets into some heavy stuff, it ends on this hopeful note. Like those connections we make, the ones that really matter, those stay with us.
It's a really nice thought to end on. Well, everyone listening, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It's been quite a journey revisiting this classic story with fresh eyes, right?
Absolutely. And hopefully it's got you thinking about your own life, your own relationships, maybe even inspired you to reach out to someone you love today. You never know what a little connection can do.